high level of trauma in that group, in the LGBT, based on just the marginalization, the depression, the suicide rates that we do see, that are the disproportionate amount of suicide, even within our community with the transgender, queer. There's a lot that is there that our community over the generations has certainly had a fair share of marginalization, because we get placed in a category.
Yeah.
And that category placement is, you're a moral problem. And you know, and a lot of times the fight we're stuck up there against with, you know, the moral conscious decisions of abortion, along with the gay rights thing. And like, it's those two things that we get put in this category that we have to overcome, that we're a moral dilemma to some people in their bias of how the society has seen us.
Yeah.
And it seems like now with COVID and with the particular, with our community, is this expression of so much of this trauma that is coming out, that we have experienced in no longer wanting to be marginalized in our policies and our laws. Like, enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
How are you working with that community?
Yeah.
To start helping them first tap into, yes, there has been trauma. And then how do we start beginning helping them navigate away from the trauma, not to live in it? Let's not live in it. Let's not say, let it be a teacher. Let it be a teacher, but let's not live in it. Let's move on, and let's start figuring out, because I had to do this. What are my trigger points? What is triggering me? And one thing that would trigger me is somebody that would say, well, toughen up, or make your voice deeper. I thought you were a girl over the phone. You're really pretty. Those were my triggers.
Yeah.
And I recognize that. And there would be points I would just get so frustrated and bent out of shape. And then I thought, they don't know me. My voice is a little higher. When they do get to know me, it's something, but it's like, I would keep those trigger points there at the front, which was hindering my growth in emotional intelligence. And so how do we work with our community to say, to acknowledge the traumas, acknowledging them, but safely navigating them to a way where they can have confidence in themselves to move forward, knowing that there will still be marginalization. There is still going to be. It's not going to go away. Not for a while, not for a long, long time, maybe, but there's these 1% increase, steps that we're doing to make it a little bit better. So how do we, in my optimism and in my emotional talent, to like, I see the mountain, y'all, let's go. And I see it, but like, how do I scale back and help? Ooh, my Okie came out, and help.
I heard it.
Yes. So how do I scale back and make it safe for them without continuing to have them stay in their trauma? I don't want to say like, come on with me and like make it just their trauma positive. I acknowledge, but I think what I'm trying to say here is like, how do I be better at encouraging them to what has really helped me become better beyond my trauma? Because I see the hurt. There is hurt. And I think if our community were to say like, we've gone through some shit, the AIDS crisis, we saw these things, but now enough. It's
Yeah.
not about just gay marriage. It's not about just having equal rights at work. Enough. We are tired. And if we could all take a collective cry, all of us, to say, I am tired of being a moral dilemma. I am tired of being the moral issue. Just let me be. Just let me be. I see that. I acknowledge it. I wake up every day thinking, how can I take this slight little feeling that's slowly disappearing, that I don't feel worthy to be here? How do I start getting it to disappear more, and then helping others see how that could disappear? And it is not easy. I don't acknowledge that it's easy, but I recognize there is a better way.
Yeah.
Than the infighting, than the trauma responses that are out there. Like, how do, in our emotional intelligence, that's such a big question, I know, but how do I do better to say, to tone down my way? Because if I could, I would pull the entire fucking ship for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But people will see me as this egotistical person. Like, you just don't get it. You don't understand. Look at you. Look where you live. Your studio. Blah blah blah. Your husband's a doctor. All these things. Like, I didn't do it with it given to me. I fought to the fucking bone for it. So, but what do I do to ensure that I'm creating a space that I want to hear them, but not help them remain in that trauma?
Yeah.
And that's probably, I don't know, deeper conversation, sure. But this is I see this more and more, how it's spilling over into the organizations. And we see these exodus, we see these people leaving organizations. We don't see them wanting to apply with our community.
Yeah.
And I can't say I blame them.
Yeah.
But I also can't say that an organization's not going to completely drop a policy or do something because they think they have that's just going to make somebody feel better. It's like we both have a role to play in this.
Yeah.